Hello, I'm joined by my guest, Robert Stiles of AnswerConnect. Robert, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Nice and warm still here where we are, as I'm sure it is with you. Just wanted to ask you a few questions about your solution, if you don't mind. Trying to sort of differentiate what makes your particular solution different to the others out there. Um, what is the primary need that your solution solves?
In simple terms, I should say, answering the phone when our clients simply can't because they're either too busy, they're held up, they're on project work, or they just need a little bit of space to do other things rather than answering the call. And obviously, a state agency, depending on the stock that they have, can be pretty relentless. Guys are out doing valuations, viewings, bringing on new business, bringing on new properties, and they don't have enough time to answer the phone. So we do it for them, and we customize that solution. So when we send them the information about the person who's called, it's a little bit more structured than just a basic name, number. We can ask specific questions about whether they're looking to get a property valued, whether they're looking to view a property that they're interested in buying. So the information that we provide our clients, certainly a estate agency, is just a little bit more refined and gives them a little bit more information to go back to the potential customer or the client that we've spoken to.
So when it comes to handling this data, one of the things that we do as estate agents when we answer the phone is we instantly connect here, and we're connecting here with our CRM system, and all that information is going straight in there. Do you offer a solution that sort of integrates with CRMs? Because that's where estate agents typically are going to be managing most of their information.
Of course, yeah. I mean, they're getting a lot of information a lot of the time. So to take that sort of work away from them and to push that and integrate that neatly into their CRM is a really, really good, unique selling point from our perspective, because we integrate with most CRMs. There's hundreds out there. So it's a simple API integration, or it's an integration done through a Zapier link. And we push, so if it's a new inquiry, for example, we will gather those details, we'll have the integration in place. And as soon as we finish the call, as well as sending our client the message, it also pushes all that information straight into their CRM without us having to log into their CRM. So there's no messing about. It's going to create a new contact, or it's going to update an existing contact from one of their existing clients. So that information is ready, packaged, and available for them to deal with straight from their CRM. So that's a service that we provide inclusive as one of several inclusive features that we provide. And that integration is a tool that a lot of our clients love. It's a really useful tool.
No, that sounds brilliant. Now, the old saying is you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And for a lot of us, that first phone call that takes place between a potential client and an agency is that ultimate chance to make a first impression. Now, my staff may be tied up dealing with other things, so I'm employing you guys to be that first impression for me. How do you ensure that the people that are taking the calls sound like they are actually from that company, and that they understand a little bit about what's going on? Because to simply answer this like any other answering service isn't going to give the same impression.
It's all about that initial customer experience, and you know how it is. If first of all you want the call answered, you want someone, if you're potentially interested in selling your property with an estate agency and they don't answer the call when you're trying to prospect to them to get them to sell your property, then that's not a very good first impression. Really, it comes down to experience and the experience of the people that are answering the calls. We work with a lot of estate agencies, so our highly trained receptionists who have been with us, a long time, are well used to sort of negating those calls. They can They're very polite. They answer in the business name, so the estate agency will be answered for. The call is answered within 4 rings every single time, so it's quick. And yeah, they're just very polite. And they have an understanding that they are representing our clients and their business. So it's so important. It's the most important thing in everything that we do with all our clients, is that initial experience that someone phoning our client's business get from us as representative of their business. So yeah, it has to be managed effectively. It has to be done politely. The information that's captured has to be accurate, and that's done through what we call verification. So spelling back a name that's obviously awkward to listen to or to spell yourself, just checking what the spelling is, email addresses, verifying numbers. And then if there's ongoing communication after the client, the estate agent, maybe, they're on the books now, they're selling their property. If there's constant communication there, our verification system is smart enough to recognize their number the next time that they call. So, they're calling 2 or 3 times. If it's going to missive, is it going to that sort of late stage of where the exciting part where the property's probably going to, get sold, hopefully. Yeah. There's a lot of phone calls going back and forth. The last thing anyone wants is to be asked their name, their number, their email address every single time. That
like a total stranger.
Yeah. So our verification system will recognize that number. It will recognize the person that's called, and it will auto-populate all that information onto the receptionist screen. That means they can just then say, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Smith. Thank you for calling. We've got your details here on file. Let me just confirm we've got the right number in case we get disconnected." And then it's just a case of, "Yep, hold the line. I'll transfer the call, or I'll send the message." So it just, it avoids all that sort of call center-y kind of, "Well, I just called 2 minutes ago and I gave you that information. How don't you know that already?" So yes. Yeah, I mean, there's never a 100% full safe for that, but we've got technology and we've got systems in place that just negate that a little bit and allow us to provide a much better experience for that sort of call, those calls. And that first time call is the most important one. Answering the call, answering it politely, professionally, and sending accurate details. And then the loop's made when the estate agent calls them back. It says, "Hey, got a message here. I hear you're interested in potentially selling a property with us." So there is responsibility on the estate agent, but that first impression, that seed has been planted, and they're just completing that circle, and hopefully that counts for a lot more.
So talking of using technology to its strengths and the efficiencies driven by technology, there's an app for pretty much anything, and like everything else, you've also got a mobile app. Can you take us through how that works and how that sort of benefits the customer?
Yeah, that's just your instant receptionist in your pocket. We all know estate agents. We all know agents are out on the road. They're in the field. They're valuing. They're viewing. They're doing all these things with property. With that app in their pocket, and it goes the same as they get sent an email or whether they get sent an SMS. But the utility of the app is, it will instantly send you a push notification once we engaged with potential customer or with one of your clients, and you will get that message and that push notification in your pocket. So it means you can just slip that out, just check it, see what the message is, see if there's any other interactions that have happened that day with that particular customer. So again, it's just that instant messaging system within your pocket. You can use it to check how many calls you've had, how many minutes you've used. You can check that sort of reporting data on it. You can call back directly from the app, the number that we annotate. You click on that number and it's going to dial out from your mobile data. You can create a business line on the end of that as well. So you're not having to actually give out your mobile number at that stage. It's going to call from a business line. So it means if they miss that call back and that person goes, "Oh, who's this called me on 0203?" They dial that number back and it comes again straight back to your answering service, and we're answering as your business. So it's just, it's just completing the sort of loops in the communication in case anything's missed. So, as well as outbound and making that call, there's never a guarantee that the person that you're trying to call is going to answer the call as well. So you've got the guarantee that if they call you, the call is going to get answered. But if you call them back and they don't answer and they call back, again, you're guaranteed that we're going to answer that call and answer as your business and take the message and send it. So it'll probably re-loop back round to you and give you another push notification to say they've just called you back. Can you call them back again? So,
but it's brilliant because it's sort of, we all get that anxiety when we're away from the office and we don't know what's going on. I think most of us would rather be informed, know that that message is coming through, that we're able then to respond to it if we want to, if we choose to. But if
Yep.
we don't, it's still being, you know, dealt with in the correct manner.
Yeah. You can set it so, your emails make a different sound to your text messages, and your push notifications from the AnswerConnect can be a specific sound coming from your mobile phone. So that specific sound is coming from your answering service. And, it's probably one that you want to take out your pocket and have a little look at.
Yeah, fantastic. So in terms of getting this right for the companies that are using it, how much personalization or customization can a client actually have with the way that their calls are handled and the sort of script that is put together?
Yeah, they can have as much as they like, is the honest answer to that, but you have to set an expectation, which is, you can't answer that call, we can answer that call on your behalf. So don't overcomplicate the matter. Someone's going to be calling you for, you're an estate agency. There's going to be, selective call types that you're going to create, and the reason why they're going to be calling you. So, the first one is, I'm interested in selling my property with you. I would like to get a valuation done. So that call type is going to be interested in getting a valuation or valuation. There's specific questions that we can ask then when selecting that call type. So, obviously we're going to take the contact details of the person calling. Where is your property located? Do you have a budget in mind as to how much you would like for this property? When are you thinking of selling? Specific questions designed around those call types that give you a little bit more ammunition, that when you call that customer back, what to go in with. And the same with viewings. When would you potentially like to have a viewing? What property is it that you're interested in viewing? Are you selling your property? Are you in a chain? Anything like that. So it can be customized. So, create the specific call types and create the sort of basic information that you would need within those call types, and tell us how you want it delivered to you. If it's someone who's looking for an evaluation, it's high income revenue there that's potentially going to be coming in for the business. You might want to take that call straight away, and the instruction on that call type is take the information and transfer that call straight through to our sales department, please. Don't mess about. Put them on hold.
Knowing estate agents as I do, I think the one call we all want to take is anything that is a potential instruction. Anything that's a potential headache, you might want to leave till later, but generally speaking, they always prioritize anything to do with valuation booking and instructions. It is the lifeblood of every estate agency business. So putting it in your hands, they need to be sure, obviously, that that's being handled correctly. But it sounds like you've got that. The next question I'm going to ask you, it might sound like a relatively straightforward thing, but how do you ensure that all the calls reach the right department or the right person that they're intended for?
Well, I alluded to that on that last question, which is we provide specific call types. So it's not just a name, a number, taking a message and sending it to info@ or admin@. People who are doing the valuations, who's responsible for that within the agency. As soon as we select that call type and we gather the details, the instruction will be set up before any calls come in the first place, between us and the client and the agent, to say, right, if any evaluations come through, here's the numbers I want you to call, here are the email addresses I want you to send this message to. If it's for viewings, same idea. This is who I'd like you to send these messages to. This is, I'd like you to transfer these calls. It could be a case they don't want to take any calls. So simply there, that would just be email these people. Valuations might be transfer the call. If we're not available, email us. So you've got different instructions for different call types. Lettings, exactly the same. It's going to be going to the lettings manager or whoever's, responsible for those specific departments. So, those sort of call types, the instruction is send them to specific emails. Everyone's got the app downloaded, so they'll get the push notifications. It could be going to their mobile phone as an SMS. And then we do a thing called specific contacts as well. So, this isn't all about, it's all about capturing opportunity, obviously, but also, they're not available to take the calls with the clients that they're currently dealing with. But generally, once they're, once that relationship has been established within the agency, they're probably going to be calling somebody and asking them for by name. So we'll have a list of those specific contacts. We'll have all the mobile numbers and we'll have all their email addresses. And someone can go into the app and mark themselves available or unavailable on those specific contact lists. So it means, if you know, if you were getting asked for example, and you'd marked into the app that you're on your lunch, you're not available to take a call, that's dynamic. That instantly tells us when you mark that in the app that you're not available. We know you're not available. Sounds better when we say, oh, you know, no one's available to take your call right now. Let me take some details and we'll get a message, someone to call you back. But if you are available, the instruction is transfer the call to me.
Yeah.
So we have that list of specific contacts. So, you know, the right information is going to the right person every single time.
That's fantastic. So there's your service that you offer. It's got loads of unique features that we've already heard quite a bit about. But in terms of this service, there is this sort of service out there in terms of call answering. Some people that say that they do, you know, specifically for the property industry and they focus on that. But what do you feel that sort of sets you apart from your competitors? What sort of separates you guys?
Well, I mean, we've got complete transparency, the customization, like you say, the features that we provide just elevate the service available to the agent. So, for example, that customized filtering service where you're filtering call types, you know, specifically exactly why someone's calling. It's going to the right department or the right email, the right person, and that's, you know, transferred. If the call's transferred, it's going directly to the right people. Call transfer is an inclusive service with us, so we don't charge for it. A lot of companies out there will charge you for it. They'll charge you both for the privilege of transferring a call,
Yeah.
and then once they've disconnected their end, they'll charge you for the time that's spent on that call between yourself and a potential client, which can soon add up, especially if you're a busy agency and you want those calls transferred to you.
Yeah.
So there's an instant saving there, quite a significant saving if you've got a fairly big call volume. 24/7, that's an inclusive service. So you're out of hours service. And we all know when we're at home between the core hours of 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. at night, and we're thinking of selling our house or we're looking to buy a house, we're online, we're looking at estate agents, we're looking at houses, you know,
Yeah.
we want to make that call. So if you can extend those opening hours on your website and say, get in touch with us, let us know. Yeah, there may be no one in the office at that time to take the call, but we've captured the opportunity and that message is going, you know, if you're at home, you're an agent and you're working, you finished in the office for the day, you're home and you get a message that pings through to you and says someone's, you know, potentially interested in selling their property with you, you know, you're going to put your knife and fork down at tea time and say, right, you know what, give me 10 minutes, I'm just going to go make this call.
Yeah.
So you've got those sort of features as well as the CRM integration, no contract terms, you buy minutes off us on a monthly basis, they can be upgraded if you need more, they can be downgraded if you need less. You know, there are peaks and troughs in the estate agency industry. We know that. We know when the peak times are. We know when the sort of leaner times are.
Yeah.
So if you need more minutes, upgrade your plan.
Yeah.
And you can do that dynamically within the month, or you can select to do that from the start of your next billing cycle.
You've got that flexibility and control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And within the portal that we provide as well, which is, again, it's linked to the app, there's a reporting feature in there that shows you exactly how many minutes you've used, how many calls we've taken, you know, the average time it takes us to handle your calls. So we're not hiding behind anything. That app is there to give transparency, as well as, you know, the messages getting archived in there. It's going to create caller histories, caller logs. It's going to tell you exactly how many minutes you've used, if you do need to upgrade. And we all know that stock changes within the estate agent industry is pretty indicative of how many calls they're going to get in a month. If you've got a big stock list and you're bringing on new stock all the time, you know, it depends where you are. People are interested in finding out about those properties. It's going to increase your call volume. So, you know, you don't want to overcook it and get overcharged, and you don't want to sort of buy something that, you know, you've used it and then obviously they're charging you extra after that for all these other services that you're providing. So it just allows you to understand your sort of budget a bit better, what you're going to spend, what you're potentially going to spend if you bring more stock on. You know, in the summer months, if people are actively looking more for houses, you know, those times you're going to pay a bit more. But when the winter months come in and people aren't actively looking, you know, you're going to pay a bit less. So it just allows you to get that flexibility, and you're not overspending, you're not underspending and getting overcharged. So it just allows for that.
Fantastic. Robert, tell us about AnswerConnect's giving back program.
Yeah, so we do a lot for charity. We do a lot for people, planet. We plant a tree for every new customer that we bring on board. We plant a tree for every new employee that we bring. We've planted over 1 million trees now.
Wow.
We
Trees.
have charity days where we get all our staff together, and we put it on the onus of the staff to choose a charity, a local charity. It could be a soup kitchen, it could be anything, any charity that's close to one of our employees' hearts. Then they make that suggestion. We'll get everyone together on a day when we can get everyone together, and we'll help out. We'll go in, we'll help, we'll deliver food, we'll help local charities, we'll do beach cleans, we'll do environmental cleans. And it's just a good way for us to get out together in the field, communicate with each other, because when you're behind a screen all the time, you're answering phones, you're dealing with customers. You want to get a bit of breathing space. You want to feel like you're doing something good. They feel like they're doing something good for our clients anyway, on a daily basis, because we're helping their business. But this is just another thing that we try to promote. And we pay our staff to do that. So the time that they take out of their day, they're not losing anything from that. They're giving. And at the same time, we're giving back to them.
It's a lovely idea, and it's great to see some companies talk about it, but you guys are putting it into practice. And we all know that this is, in the long run, if you have a long-term view, which you guys clearly do, the environment and what we do for charities, but also more importantly to save the environment today, will help people in the future. A lot of us just don't get around to doing it, but you guys are paying your staff to go out there and spend that time doing it. And I think that gives them the freedom to feel like they should and could achieve that. And I think that's great.
Absolutely. And if you think about it in a sort of roundabout way as well, which is so true of what our mission statement is, we're allowing our clients to do that as well. COVID, coronavirus, the pandemic was the perfect example of this, which when everyone had to start working remotely, working from home, we promote that. We actively promote that. In this day and age, in this modern age of technology and online services, you don't particularly need an office anymore. There's no need to burn unnecessary energy by keeping lights on in the evening when you're not even open. All this standby electricity's on. That's a less of a commute for someone if they're working from home. They're not having to use their car to travel miles to an office. So many different reasons like that. So we actively promote that, and it's why we encourage this as a business for people to actively take on answering services. It's a virtual service that requires no energy. It requires no petrol, no diesel. You're not destroying things on your way to work. And it provides a much better life-work balance for people that have the privilege of being able to work that way. So, when we bring on new clients and they come to us and say, we love this model, we're taking a step back from the office now. You've helped us so much. We don't have, and that's a cost-saving exercise for them as well. There's rates, there's leases on buildings, there's all sorts of things. So if they discover and are educated to say, right, well, we don't need to have someone sitting in an office answering calls for us all day. We can outsource this, and it's just providing a solution that way. So in an inadvertent way, they're doing their bit for the environment and the planet as well.
Yeah, no, that's so true, and it's a great way of looking at it. Now is your time, Robert, to put together the perfect soundbite. So I'm going to ask you in a sentence to sum up what AnswerConnect means to estate agencies.
It means capturing opportunity that you may not capture if you are not available to answer that call. Don't let it slide, and don't let it go to your competitor. Try the answering service. That's what it's there for. It's to capture those opportunities and give you an opportunity to allow your business to grow.
Superb. Robert, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
There you go.